all these brands that showcase their new collection, latest collections that will drop the next season. Some of those things just never make it to production. And I'm gonna do a quick little rant right now. Sorry, I promise it'll be quick, but it just bothers me. As a person who loves ready to wear, I get so miffed at these things. Okay, so here's my recent example. So Acne Studios recently concluded their archive sale, but they gave everyone who subscribed to the mailing list a heads up. So I was like, great, I can't wait to shop it. Boom, 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 let's do this. So it drops, and the day it drops, there's so many great things. Oh my God, so many great pieces. The standout piece that I really was gonna get, I was like literally about to add it to my cart and check out. But I realized just in time, and these things are final sale, by the way, final sale, can't return. So, you gotta be sure about this, and you gotta be okay with parting ways with it or losing the money if it doesn't work out for you. Like, that's just what these things are. These final sales, you gotta be okay with losing the money, You can try to reach out to them for a refund, but just FYI, it might be proven unsuccessful. Anyway, so I saw this beautiful, gorgeous metallic silver skirt, maxi skirt, in leather, genuine leather. Y'all know how I feel about leather. I love leather in every kind of piece of clothing. Jackets, obviously shoes, bags, pants, tops, dresses. I love leather. Jewelry, right? Accessories, headbands, coats, you name it. I'm a leather girl. And just gorgeous skirt. What was pictured was not the same thing. There was maybe a slide, it was like a carousel of 6 to 8 pictures of the skirt and the link to the actual skirt. And as I scrolled and swiped through each of the photos, and I was like, oh my God, I should get it. I added it to my cart. But I noticed that I felt like I was looking at 2 different skirts. So the first one I'm showing you here is what I first saw. That made me go, ooh, I'm getting this. This is a definite yes. It's in a size 6, US 6, which was a EU 38. And I was like, it's a maxi skirt. It looks kind of baggy. I should be good with sizing. It's not like jeans. So, but yeah, I realized that the link for this item has 2 different skirts pictured in it. So the one that I really loved is this one here. And what I loved about it is how it looked like it's a patchwork of almost like Frankenstein. But because it doesn't have different colors and it's the same fabric and same color, you can't really tell. It's very subtle, the Frankenstein effect. So essentially different pieces of leather that are sewn together to make one piece of fabric, in this case, one long maxi leather skirt in silver metallic color. And I love that. It gave very avant-garde. And then the patchwork itself, all the patches of leather had studs, this little stud, almost like rivet detailing all across in a silver matching color. And it just looked very metallic, almost like I was walking around in a metal sheet, like metal panels. It looked, honestly, not like clothing. And I loved that. I loved that. And so that's what I wanted to buy. That's what I thought I was buying. But when I just kept looking and looking. When it's final sale, you zoom in, you do this, to make sure you see everything. But then I realized 3, 4 photos were that, there's among the photo carousel was a runway. You could tell they took a picture of the model walking down a runway in that skirt. And that image is again the skirt that I thought I was buying. But the other pictures showed the skirt in a less detailed form. So half the pictures had the runway look, or the runway version that I wanted to buy. The other half had a much less detailed version where it was 4 giant slabs of leather sewn together instead of a cool patchworked kind of detail where the patches of leather that were sewn together were different sizes and kind of different lengths and widths of rectangle patches of leather that were sewn together. But the other half of the pictures had just the skirt in 4 quadrants of leather. It was just big 4 giant panels of leather sewn together versus a hodgepodge of different sizes of patches of leather sewn together. If that makes sense. and no studded / rivet detailing at all. This is a different skirt. Also, just to clarify, in case it's not really clear, the skirt on the left is the one I wanted and not the skirt on the right. As I mentioned, both these images or these versions of this skirt was combined in the same product lane for this very same maxi skirt. And so I was very confused and didn't know which version I would get should I have placed the order. And I'm happy to report that I did not. I went ahead and checked with the Acne Studios team and asked them to confirm which version they would be shipping, and they said it would be the version on the right. As you see here, the version on the left is the one I wanted. Obviously, it's the exact same one from the Acne Studios runway show. It has the rivet detailing / studs detailing all throughout, and it has a really cool Frankenstein-esque effect of having leather patches kind of sewn together in this one maxi skirt of varying shapes and sizes, and I absolutely love that, and it brings so much more interest and detail than the version on the right. So just wanted to clarify that there. And the thing is, a lot of brands do this, they'll slightly modify, in my case, from my experience at least, like modify in a less detailed, dulled down, less intricate, essentially cheaper version when it comes to production. So you'll see a more elevated version of the piece, a more sophisticated version, a more detailed, like I said, version on the runway. But then when they put it out for production to be sold at stores for people, consumers to buy, customers to buy, it's not the same thing. The quality is kind of a little worse. They kind of dull down or dumb down the quality. And I hate that. And this was a more recent example. So I hope I summarized that succinctly. I'll edit it. But yeah, I hate when companies do that. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this video. I'm going to try and do more of these. I feel like this is a very interesting topic. I'll try and collect more instances where something exactly like this happened at different brands and different runway shows, and versus what they actually end up producing, and the major differences between, again, what was shown on the runway and what was eventually produced and sent to stores for consumers to purchase. So yeah, of course, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to know if you're interested in this topic. Happy to do like a series. And of course, stay safe, stay blessed, stay respectful, and I will see you girlies in the next video. Bye.